Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos and on this video this morning I am going to be giving you my preview for the Manchester United Wolves game in the FA Cup third round replay tomorrow at Old Trafford, quarter to 8 kick-off. Also on this video as well I'm going to be giving you my starting 11 prediction. Of course the winners out of Man United and Wolves do play Watford and Tranmere in the fourth round. But hopefully, we can see a total comparison performance to what we saw in the game at Molineux. Because in the game at Molineux, we didn't register one single shot on target. Obviously, we're coming into this game on the back of a 4-0 win against Norwich at the weekend, But like I said, Solskjaer's not yet, beaten Wolves as a manager. We are unbeaten. Wolves are unbeaten in their last 5 games against us. So since they came up to the top flight in 2018, we have failed to beat them. Wolves have not won at Old Trafford for around 40 years. But this is our third game at Old Trafford of 2020 and our third game in a row at Old Trafford. We haven't actually been knocked out of the third round of the FA Cup since is it 2013-2014 season. So I think Man United should win this game. Wolves obviously didn't win at the weekend. They drew with Newcastle 1-1, but like I've said, I've admired Wolves on previous videos. They're a good side. They've also got a really good manager in Nuno Santo. And obviously Wolves have got an ambition. They've obviously got the Europa League to play for. They've qualified for the knockout stages. I'm very sceptical that Wolves will win it. But obviously, them being in the Europa League is very good to their standards. And obviously, last season they did finish 7th. And obviously, reflecting on that, they got automatic qualification for the Europa League. And don't forget, Wolves enjoyed a good cup run last season. They enjoyed a good cup run. They progressed to the FA Cup semi-final for the first time in 21 years. And like I said, Wolves' record against the top 6 sides is very impressive. Like I said, I'll give you a bit of team news right now. I do presume Solskjaer's press conference will be coming up sometime today, so I will be giving you my reaction to that. I think, like I said, Solskjaer will make changes. I think, he will rest their key players for this game. Obviously, because Solskjaer is aware that Liverpool is on the horizon. I think, obviously, Bailly and Fosu-Mensah, could they get given the opportunity against Wolves? I don't think they're ready for this team action as yet. Obviously, Eric Bailly and Fosu-Mensah played for the under-23s last Friday. Bailly, of course, was out with an knee injury since pre-season. Fosu-Mensah, of course, has been out with an knee injury for a while and that. But the good news is now, they are closer to returning. Luke Shaw, I think he's got some kind of a hamstring problem. Well, I think recently he had illness, but now I think he's got a minor hamstring problem, but I don't think it's too severe. I don't think it's nowhere near as severe as the initial one that he had earlier on in the season. So he's out. I think he's out. Ashley Young, I'm not too sure, whether he will be playing in this game tomorrow. Maybe he could. Maybe Solskjaer could decide to rest Bissaka and, play Ashley Young. Young didn't play against Norwich. According to Solskjaer, Young wasn't fit enough to play against Norwich. Obviously, there's doubts over Ashley Young's future. I think if the club do decide to get rid of Ashley Young this month, if we do decide to get rid of him, I think Man United need to consider, giving the captaincy to Harry Maguire, because I think he's got good leadership, and I know that we overpaid for him in that because we paid 80 million, but I still think he's done really well for us. He's addressed our defensive deficiencies, and maybe Harry Maguire could be arrested in this game, because don't forget, Harry Maguire has just recently recovered from a hip injury. But there's quite a few clubs that have been in for Ashley Young. You know, it says that Crystal Palace and Lazio and Villa are the recent teams that have, you know, entered the race for him. Obviously, you know, Inter Milan have been in talks with us over signing Ashley Young. I think from Inter Milan, I think Inter Milan's preference, you know, they would want to sign him this month rather than, you know, in the summer. But I think, you know, we are reluctant to let Ashley Young go this month, reflecting on the injuries that Man United have got. So we're not determined to let him go and that. So we're probably at risk of losing him on a free transfer at the end of the season. He did allegedly say this was stemming from what's his name? Fabrizio Romano, who was an Italian journalist. He allegedly said that he agreed a contract with Inter Milan until 2021. This is what it actually said. We was recently in talks over getting Ashley Young a new 1 year extension, but reportedly Ashley Young had turned this 1 year extension down. Recent reports have come out and said that now actually this is stemming from Sky Sports, which is a reliable source, and they've said that Ashley Young's move now to Inter Milan could be in doubt due to a swap deal with Roma. Well, it's something like that. But definitely know that Ashley Young is one of the players that needs to leave Manchester United. Young has been a long-serving player at the football club. Young is now into his 9th season at Manchester United, and he has enjoyed 8 years here. And he's made 261 appearances for the club in all competitions. And quite frankly, he's past his sell-by date. He's 34. He is actually now nearly 35. You know, but I think when he leaves, he won't continue playing his trade in the Premier League, and I think, you know, he will, you know, probably, you know, go to a foreign club, you know. So that's the latest news on that. So whether he plays in this game or not, I do not know. Jesse Lingard now, he's out with illness. You know, I think his illness got more severe than that. I wouldn't play Jesse Lingard. Maybe this could be the actual game, you know, where he does play though. Because I've got element of concerns about Jesse Lingard, because I think, you know, his performances have not, you know, been to the standards as we should expect from him. And like I said, you know, reflecting on Jesse Lingard's status at the football club, you know, he should be putting much more better performances out. And I think Solskjaer recently revealed that he's becoming infuriated with Lingard. He's also, you know, becoming infuriated. Mike Phelan is becoming infuriated there with him. But he was dropped against Norwich. Was it because Solskjaer didn't want to play him, or is it because obviously, you know, he was actually, you know, out with illness? Jesse Lingard is on a substantial amount at the club. You know, he's on around, what is it, 100 grand a week, or just over 100, or just over 100 grand a week. And he's been here for several years, and Solskjaer, you know, has known Jesse Lingard for several years. But, you know, I think he's a player that Man United do need to consider getting rid of, you know, definitely. Yeah. Obviously, I can definitely assure that Paul Pogba and McTominay, you know, will not be playing in this game. I think Pogba is out until February. McTominay is out until February. So, obviously, you know, you can say with the injuries, you know, to Pogba and McTominay, you know, we do look very exposed in that midfield. So obviously we do know that they're not going to be playing. We know Tuanzebe is out. He's out until February. So it's a shame, you know, that he's not fully fit, because this would have been the game I think he would have been given a chance if, you know, he'd have been fully fit. But I did say, didn't I think in the games Tuanzebe has played in this season, he has done really, really well for Man United. I think Rojo is still out with injury. So, you know, we've had a lot of injuries this season. You know, it's good that some players are coming back. But reflect on the amount of injuries we've had anywhere. Solskjaer has had to make alterations in the squad. You know, and a lot of people, from a lot of people's perceptions, you know, they're saying there's an explanation, you know, for why we've been inconsistent for the vast majority of this season due to the injuries we've had. Also, we've got a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve. So I don't think it's excusable, but, you know, that's what, you know, people have said, basically. You know, I think also too as well, by the way, Rashford and Martial could be rested in this game. Yeah, like I said, you know, they could be rested for the game against Liverpool, till the game against Liverpool on Sunday. Like I said, you know, Rashford and Martial are both in scintillating form for the football club. Rashford, of course, don't forget, scored 2 goals. on his 200th appearance for Man United in our 4-0 win against Norwich at the weekend. You know, Rashford now is on around 13 or is it 14 Premier League goals this season. I think he's on about 17 or 18 in all competitions. And since he broke into the senior squad back in 2016, Rashford has scored around 63 senior goals for the football club. But definitely no Rashford is a long-term solution for Man United. But so far to this point, he has spent the entirety of his career with the football club. And he's only at the age of 22. Anthony Martial, I think, you know, he's doing really, really well. He also got his name on the score sheet at the weekend against Norwich. You know, obviously, as you all know now, Martial plays in that number 9 role. He plays centrally, so obviously, you know, Rashford now operates out wide. And and Martial now, I think, is on around 59 senior goals to the club. He's nearly on 200 appearances for Man United in all competitions, is Martial. So I think with us, you know, probably resting Martial and Rashford, it obviously, you know, will give Mason Greenwood the opportunity. So I do presume in this game that Mason Greenwood will start definitely. So yeah, so now we will get on with the starting 11 predictions. So this is the lineup I am going to go with. He'll probably stick with David De Gea in goal there again. Maybe he could go with Sergio Romero because Sergio Romero is our second choice goalkeeper. He obviously, you know, went with Romero in the game at Molineux. So I'm gonna maybe he will go Romero. Yeah, I'm gonna go Romero actually. Change of plan here. I'm gonna go Romero in goal. At right back, I'm gonna go with Ashley Young. I don't know if he'll play Ashley Young, but I'm going to predict he'll play Ashley Young because I think he'll rest Anwan Bissaka. Centre back partnership, I'm going to go with, well, Tuanzebe can't play because he's injured, so I'm going to go with Lindelof. Maybe Jones will play alongside him, or maybe he'll just go with Lindelof and Harry Maguire. I'm going to go with Lindelof and Phil Jones because I think he could rest Maguire actually. At left back, I think he'll stick with Brandon Williams because obviously, you know, Solskjaer now views Brandon Williams as his first choice left back, and I've got to say he's a better solution than Luke Shaw. You know, you've obviously, you know, got quite a lot of United fans now demanding Luke Shaw out of the football club. You know, midfield, I think he'll probably go with Fred and Matic. If he doesn't go with that, he'll go with Fred and Pereira, or he'll go with Matic and Pereira. I think that's what, you know, he will go with. It will be the 4-2-3-1 formation, by the way, that's all Solskjaer goes with. I'm going to go with Fred and Matic as the two holders. The three attackers, I'm going to say Daniel James on the left. In the number 10, maybe Lingard, if he plays. If not, I think Juan Mata will play in the number 10. Don't forget Andres Pereira can play in the number 10. I'm going to go with Juan Mata in the number 10. Andres Pereira on the right and Mason Greenwood up top. So that is my starting 11 prediction for the game. As Wolves, they've got a couple of injuries, you know, nowhere near to the extent of, you know, what injuries, you know, we've got. I think, you know, they're missing Diego Jota. I think they also are missing Willy Bowley, but that's the only players, you know, that Wolves have got injured. So, yeah, and you've got, maybe, you know, you can say now the FA Cup is an ambition for us. You know, it would be good to see us, you know, enjoy a good run in the FA Cup. It would be even more better, you know, if we could win the FA Cup. We haven't won the FA Cup since 2015, or sorry, 16. So we haven't won it since the Louis van Gaal era when we beat Crystal Palace in the final by 2-1. But analysing it last season, you know, we enjoyed a really good FA Cup run. You know, we beat Reading in the third round. We're beating Arsenal in the fourth round 3-1. We're beating Chelsea in the fifth round 2-0. But like I said, went out to Wolves in the quarter final. You know, but yeah, and I think it's now looking very, very unlikely, you know, that we're going to win the Carabao Cup because I'm very sceptical, you know, that we are going to progress to the final because we are 3-1 down to Man City from the first leg. And obviously, you know, towards the end of this month, we've got to go to the Etihad to overcome a 2-goal deficit. You know, we've got a few ambitions, you know, the league's a priority for us, you know, because obviously, you know, we want that top 4. Obviously want Champions League football secured for next season. So yeah, and Solskjaer not too long ago give us an update on our top four ambitions, and he thinks that Man United can get the top four if we can obviously find that consistency. We are in that top four race because we are only 5 points behind the top four. And obviously you can say that the Europa League is a priority for us because it's another route to Champions League football, and it's obviously no chance of getting some silverware on the board. And Solskjaer recently spoken about the importance of us getting a silverware on the board anyway. He recently spoken about that. Yeah, so that's basically your preview and that for Man United Wolves. I gave you the news, didn't I, regarding Bruno Fernandes. Well, I've been updating you about Bruno Fernandes on a regular basis and that. Like I said, it's looking very, very imminent that Bruno Fernandes is going to be our first signing of this January transfer window. He's going to be our 4th signing overall. Under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, because we spent nearly £150 million last summer on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. And you can say maybe, the 3 players that we recommended in have been our best players so far this season. As it reported from the BBC yesterday, this was stemming from Simon Stone, and like I said, the BBC is a reliable source, and it said, that Man United have held face-to-face talks with Sporting Lisbon, obviously over Bruno Fernandes, and obviously it was stemming from Sky Sports then, saying that Bruno Fernandes has notified Sporting Lisbon that he wants to leave and he wants to come to Manchester United. So I definitely do believe that this is happening. Bruno Fernandes is set to cost us around £60 million in total, or maybe a bit more. We pay around, is it 50 or 51 million pounds up front, and I think there's like 9 or 10 million pounds in add-ons. So Bruno Fernandes to Man United, should be officially announced sometime this week, because it did say he's set to fly to Manchester, obviously to complete his transfer to Old Trafford. I think he's set to sign a contract with the club until 2025, so it is a 5-year deal worth around £100,000 a week. So obviously he's going to get an increase in his wages. But I am very, very delighted about this, and I think Bruno Fernandes is the right calibre player for Manchester United. Definitely, predominantly an attacking midfielder. 25 years of age. 25 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. And I think we are seeing him as an adequate replacement for Pogba, because I think, Pogba's still going to leave the football club. And hopefully, we can get Bruno Fernandes in by the time we play Liverpool on Sunday. And if that is the case, then he could make his debut for the club against Liverpool on Sunday. Obviously, we'll orchestrate, what shirt number he gets given, when he officially signs and that. I think he doesn't he currently play for number 8 for Sporting Lisbon at the moment. By the way, I think this is a straight cash deal. I don't think there's no swap deals involved, because recently there was talks about Marcos Rojo as being part of the deal of Bruno Fernandes coming here to Man United. Reportedly, from Sporting Lisbon's perspective, for them to get rid of Bruno Fernandes, it said they wanted Marcos Rojo as part of the deal, but I feel as though Marcos Rojo is one of the problematic players at Man United anyway that does need to be moved on. Don't forget, Rojo is a former Sporting Lisbon player, because we paid around £16 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2014, and Rojo is now into his 6th season at Manchester United. But I've got to say, he has sustained quite a lot of injuries with the club. But I don't think, it's going to be a swap deal and that. But Man United have been in talks with Sporting Lisbon, for quite a bit now. And obviously, negotiations are at an advanced stage. But I did say, didn't I, on my other video, that the vast majority of the stories that are coming out regarding Bruno Fernandes are stemming from the Portuguese press. Well, there was. But now, obviously, he's coming in from Sky and the BBC and that. And when it does, it's more than likely, that his transfer to Man United is definitely going to happen. Friday last week, obviously, Sporting Lisbon's president, Federico Varandas, So too with Bruno Fernandes' agent, obviously, were at United's club's offices, having negotiations. And it was the other week, Solskjaer had flew out. Solskjaer had flew out with Mike Phelan to Portugal to watch Bruno Fernandes in action against, Porto and that. So too, Bruno Fernandes scored brace at the weekend in Sporting Lisbon's 3-1 win. So Bruno Fernandes is a player that can score goals, he can create chances, he's got a lot of tenacity, and he would dramatically improve our midfield. So I'm excited about the prospects of him, coming in. I'm really, really excited about it. And I did say, didn't I, he's not going to want to spend the entirety of his career from now on with Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, at some point, he's going to want to move on because he wants to leave, obviously, to rejuvenate his career. And I think, he will exceed expectations in the Premier League, definitely. So I think, when he comes to Man United, he'll be able to replicate, what he has done with Sporting Lisbon. He's been there a couple of years. I think this is now his current third season with Sporting Lisbon. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes extended his contract in November of last year until 2023. I think this must have been reflecting on his good performances. And obviously, when he was younger, Bruno Fernandes, he spent the entirety of his career in Italy with Sampdoria and Udinese and that, and he was also, very, very good there. Well, some people have different perceptions on it. Some people believe he would have flopped in this area, and he's actually, been better, in Portugal. But I'm very, very excited about Bruno Fernandes coming in. But we was relentlessly, linked to him last season, and we was relentlessly, linked to him last summer. Obviously, we didn't get Bruno Fernandes last summer because I think, we didn't put an official bid in, and obviously, we were determined to meet Sporting Lisbon's valuation. I think Sporting Lisbon last summer wanted more or less the same figure as, what they are currently demanding now. But we know that, midfielders are needed at Manchester United, definitely, midfielders are needed. But yeah, it's looking likely, we are going to get Bruno Fernandes on the board, which I'm very, very delighted about. And, Tottenham, I think, have been in for him recently. City and Liverpool were also in for him last summer. Because Tottenham, of course, are going to be losing Christian Eriksen, don't forget. They're going to be losing Christian Eriksen because recent reports have indicated out saying that, Christian Eriksen has agreed a 4.5-year deal with Inter Milan worth around 6.5 million a year. I think negotiations have been at an advanced stage, or still are at an advanced stage, because I think Christian Eriksen held furthermore talks with Inter Milan at the weekend. His agent last week had flew to Milan for negotiations, so it's looking likely Inter Milan are going to get him for around £17 million. Don't forget, he allegedly said the other week that, we'd put a £20 million bid in for Christian Eriksen. But we'd ruled out of putting a bid in for the midfielder. But, don't forget, we was in for Christian Eriksen last summer. But obviously, we dropped our interest because we felt as though his preference was a move to Real Madrid. But from Tom's perspective anyway, they'd rather cash in for Eriksen this month rather than letting go on a free transfer at the end of the season. Eriksen's been a long-serving player for Tottenham. He's now been there 6 years. He's now into his 7th season with them. He's 27 years of age. He's predominantly an attacking midfielder. Christian Eriksen has made over 300 odd appearances for Tottenham in all competitions. Just in the Premier League alone, he's made around 223 appearances and scored 51 goals. So Tottenham are looking for a replacement for him anywhere. But they're not going to get Fernandes, I don't think. And Tottenham, I've got a few injuries. Obviously, they've got Moussa Sissoko out for a while. Harry Kane is out for them a while. Tottenham have got obviously Tanguy Ndombele out, who they signed from Lyon last summer. Paid quite a bit of money for him. They've obviously got Ben Davies out. Hugo Lloris has been out. Danny Rose just recently, recovered from injury for them. But Tottenham did sign quite a few players last summer. By the way, it's looking very, very imminent that Tottenham are going to be signing Gedson Fernandes from Benfica. I was reading reports yesterday again from the BBC and Sky, and it says Tottenham are set to sign Gedson Fernandes, not permanently. They're set to sign him on an 18-month loan deal. but there's no obligation to buy at the end of the loan. But Tottenham do have the option to buy him at the end of the loan. So when his loan deal expires in 2021, Tottenham do have the option to buy him. I think for around 56 million pounds. And I think Gedson Fernandes has got an initial release clause of around 102 million pounds. It also said he agreed a deal with West Ham and that. But I think his actual preference is a move to Tottenham over West Ham. I think Gedson Fernandes is around 21 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. So far to this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Benfica. He's been with, I think he was in Benfica's youth system for around 9 years. Yes, he was. And I think he's been their senior squad since like 2018. So yeah, so if he passes the medical and that, it'll be officially announced, and it will be Jose Mourinho's first signing at Tottenham. So yeah, it's looking likely they're going to be getting Gedson Fernandes anywhere. But like I said, we're seeing Bruno Fernandes basically as an alternative, to Maddison. Because I'm very, very sceptical, that we're going to get James Maddison this January. Maybe there's a possible chance that we could get him in the summer. Obviously, maybe seeing him as an alternative as well to Christian Eriksen. But overall, there has been a lot of, players on our agenda. And, when we do sign Bruno Fernandes, I think we need to try and get at least one more player in this January transfer window, because Solskjaer did confirm he wants to recommend around 2 signings in January. Solskjaer did recently warn our fans, by the way, that we do not expect, that he says the club do not expect to make many signings in this January transfer window. But Solskjaer is aware that signings are needed. He's urged our board to make signings and that. But for my own perception, like I said, I think we need at least 5 to 6 more signings if we are to be back to being competitive, and if we are, to be up there challenging for major honours. But I said it's very imperative that we address the deficiencies in the squad. Like I said, get a couple of midfielders, get a couple of strikers, despite the fact that Rashford, Martial, James and all that are on form. I still think we need to add more experience in that attacking line. We probably need a right winger. And there's possibly other areas in the squad as well that do need to be addressed. But yeah, we're nearly at the midway point now of January, and we have not yet, signed anybody. But like I said, we are on the verge of signing Bruno Fernandes. But it's good if we can sign some players, because then I think Solskjaer is determined to get rid of players as long as, we can sign players in this January transfer window. Because there's still a lot of problematic players at Man United that do need to be moved on, like I said. Despite the fact that a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. I think we need to get rid of Young. We need to get rid of Phil Jones, because Phil Jones is one of the problematic players. We need to get rid of Rojo. We need to get rid of Matic. He's definitely a liability. I've also got the same perception on Pereira. I've got a lot of element of concerns about him. Chong, I think we need to get rid of him, because I don't think he's at that level yet. Is Chong. Chong I think needs to be loaned out. So if Man United, could loan Chong out, that would be very beneficial. Some people say, like I said, Luke Shaw needs to go. Luke Shaw needs to go. Pogba definitely, needs to go. But yeah, but we definitely need to get rid of more players in that. And like I said on my recent video, Solskjaer is inheriting a pretty decent squad. We have got a lot of good players in our team, but the explanation again why we haven't been performing to the standards as we should, or we haven't been getting positive results mainly, is because the team have just not been playing as a unit, and that is the problem in that. And I know that we're not in the commanding position that we should be in. Reflecting on the amount of money that's been invested into the football club, because I think we spent nearly £1 billion on recruiting new players in. And not only that, we've also got players on big contracts, and also reflect on the size and the potential of this club. Even though we've been a toxic football club for the last 6 or 7 years, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the biggest team. We are the most successful team in England historically. Reflecting on the amount of titles we've won. But I just think it's going to take us several years, to get us back, to that level, where we should be. I'm very sceptical, by the way, that we're going to get our 21st title under Mulligan and Solskjaer. But like I've said to you on my recent videos, Solskjaer is not the long-term solution for Manchester United. But like I've said, our board won't sack him. I think with him being a club legend in that aspect, the board and that softened their stance. But I think disregarding him being a club legend, you could arguably say he would have been sacked by now, would Solskjaer. Yeah, I definitely know would have been sacked by now. But, our board and Ed Woodward are determined to back him in this January transfer window. They're also determined to back him this summer. So let's see who we can recommend in to the football club. There's some aspects of me that credit Solskjaer. I've also, got some element of concerns about him. And, Solskjaer's got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. And that's one aspect to me, that does credit him, because the young players, to be fair, have been given their chances this season. And I think there's a lot of young players that will become success at Manchester United by the way. But my element of concerns about Solskjaer is for the vast majority of this season, he's been tactically naive. Some of his substitutions have been questionable. He doesn't really have a plan B. And I just don't think he's got any intuition on how to manage. So, like I've said in my other videos, I think as a manager, he's totally comparison to how he was as a player. Because I think as a player, he had that proven pedigree. But I just don't think he's good enough to succeed as a manager. And I hope I'm wrong. And, my perceptions may start to change regarding Solskjaer. If we can go on a good run of form until the end of the season or until at least March, but I can still assure Solskjaer will still be here at the end of the season. If we can improve, then maybe we'll see out his 3-year contract at the club. But if he doesn't, I'm very sceptical that he will see out his 3-year contract at Man United. Solskjaer's been here now for 13 months. So he's been here over a year. He's been, I think, permanent manager for around 10 months nearly, or it is 10 months. But we're hopeful that we can enjoy a better 2020, than what we saw last year. We've enjoyed difficult starts 2020. That 4-0 win against Norwich was our first win of 2020. But Solskjaer is aware that he's got, many expectations to definitely exceed. He's got, many expectations to exceed in that at the football club. But like I've said, not every manager, settles in straight away. I give you a few prime examples on one of my videos yesterday. Look at Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Look how he's emulated himself up, and now obviously, he's a fantastic manager. His philosophy is good. But when Liverpool first recommended Jurgen Klopp in, Jurgen Klopp, his record after his first 28, 29 games was appalling. The other prime example is, Ferguson, when we recommended him in from Aberdeen in 1984, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, and I think he was like one game away from getting the sack, but he didn't. But then look what Ferguson, went and accomplished then after that 4 years. Look what he went and accomplished. Ferguson enjoyed 26, 27 years at Man United, and that he had a fantastic influence on the game as a manager. Ferguson, I don't think Solskjaer will invoke Ferguson's legacy at the club. I don't think any manager would at Manchester United. But like I said, Ferguson didn't win out his first 4 years at Man United. Well, yeah, we will see what happens. So, so it's looking like I said, we're going to get Bruno Fernandes, which is good news. I gave you the news regarding Jude Bellingham yesterday, didn't I? Yes, I did. I gave you the news regarding him from Birmingham. Nothing much more has updated since I updated you yesterday. It said, Man United had put around a £12.5 million bidding for him. Jude Bellingham plays in the Championship, with Birmingham. It's his first season in the senior squad. He made his senior debut in August 2019, which was last year, and he made his debut at just the age of 16 in 38 days. He's only 16, he's not 17 until the summer. He's a midfielder. I think there's been quite a few teams in for that Jude Bellingham. Do you think, he'd be able to come and succeed in the Premier League if he came? I don't think Birmingham have got any intentions of selling him at the moment. you know. But he's a cheap solution, you know. £12 million is very very cheap. So he's been another midfielder on our agenda, you know. And like I said, we need to see a variety of changes at the club anyway. You know, I think we need to get rid of the Glazers. We need to get rid of Ed Woodward. You know, as you all know, our fans were protesting in our 4-0 win against Norwich. You know, they were protesting Ed Woodward and the Glazers. They were demanding the Glazers out of the club. You know, we need to get rid of more players. We need to get rid of our board, because our board have been a liability for several years. It basically reflects on their poor recruitment and their poor selection of managers. We also need a change of management, you know, definitely. But however long Solskjaer is our manager, you know, I will be, you know, determined to always, you know, stand there by him, you know, definitely in that. You know, so yeah, so that's your Man United Wolves preview. Drop your comment and everything else to update you. Drop your comments, like, on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, there'll be more videos coming up very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.